Hey everyone, Mtashed here with another exotic weapon review. I'm extremely excited about this one. This is the Wardcliff Coil. We've seen pictures of this in the past. I finally got the chance to use it. I've seen some footage. I wanted to test it for myself, so let's get into it. Composite stock doesn't really do anything for you. It just increases stability and handling speed. But this perk right here, Mechanized Autoloader, is fantastic. You run over some heavy ammo, it loads your gun automatically. You don't have to delay. If you pick it up, you can shoot it right away. Big fan of Mechanized Autoloader because nothing's worse than finding heavy ammo and then having to load your heavy weapon. Extended Mag does literally nothing because there's only one bullet in the chamber. Don't know why that's on there. Volatile Launch increases the blast radius. Doesn't really do anything too special here, but the big perk, the exotic perk, is Mad Scientist. This weapon fires a volley of rockets instead of just one rocket, so it's like shooting out a cluster bomb out of the end of your bomb. So, let's test it out and figure out if it's any good. I think that these clips here are a pretty good representation of how good this gun is overall. Is it amazing at a mid to long range? I didn't know about that. I don't know if it's really good. It's kind of randomized with the aim. So if you got a target that's moving, this gun can be pretty average. We'll talk about that in a minute. Up close, can you melt a yellow health bar enemy? Yeah, it looks like it. It looks pretty strong. Can you clear out ads with this? I mean, yeah, you can. It's not amazing. It's not phenomenal. You have to remember you're using an entire rocket every time you shoot this to clear like 3 or 4 enemies. Is that amazing? It's really tough to say. You could probably do that with any rocket launcher in the game. You could do it with a blue rocket launcher. Is this a boss killer? Does this thing absolutely murder bosses like the Gallahorn or Jalahorn or Yallahorn back in Destiny 1? I'm not sure if it does. It's good. It's definitely good. It does some damage. You can see there it chunked off, 30% of its health there with that volley. But it's not, in my opinion, the best weapon in the game. It's got auto loader. You're going to see it right here. I pick up some ammo. The gun's loaded. That's cool. It's sweet. But I actually think that this gun kind of sucks. I know. I'm calling it so early, but I feel like an idiot when I use this weapon. I'm going to tell you why right now. This weapon just doesn't pack the punch that I thought it would. Even though I'm matching the element of this knight, I'm laying a volley into him, it doesn't kill him. And you run into situations where, against captains and knights and enemies that are able to tank this, when you start shooting them, it pops them into the air so you miss even more of the volley, doing even less damage. Against raid bosses or strike bosses, I think this could be effective if you can get in range. But if you have to shoot at a range like this, you won't even hit the boss some of the time. The range on this gun is so abysmal, it's so random, that it is extremely frustrating to use. If you're up too close, sometimes the rockets hit the ground. And while I recognize the Devil Walker is not a great example because explosive damage is reduced for the Devil Walker, it just shows that this gun is kind of RNG. You might be aimed right at a wizard, it flies away a bit, and you miss the entire volley. Another time you might miss and it'll hit them, and I don't like that randomness. If I'm shooting a gun, I want it to do damage. If I'm shooting a knight, I want the full damage to hit him, but sometimes it hits the ground, sometimes it just misses, sometimes it pops him in the air, and I can't do the damage because now it missed because he's in the air. The dubious volley is extremely frustrating for what you get. And for an exotic rocket launcher, I wanted this thing to be dominant, and I just don't feel that it is. As for PvP, I once again cannot recommend this weapon. You get 1 rocket, which for the most part equals 1 kill, because, I mean, the blast radius on this thing, how much damage it does, you're not going to kill 2 or 3 people with this with a rocket. Maybe if they're super clumped up, but this thing is... I wanted this gun to be amazing, but unless you're playing like this, it's not going to do much for PvP. Even then, you can miss, you can hit the ground with it. It's so random at times, it's frustrating as hell. I would rather just have a pulse rifle and run around. You're going to do more damage with a fusion rifle. You're going to do more damage with a shotgun to an enemy team. So that pretty much ends my review. Obviously, there are situations where this thing can be good. If you're up close and personal with a strike boss, you're going to do some damage. If you're matching elements, you're going to do some damage. But I can't recommend giving this gun more than like maybe a 5 or 6, because the range on it is so terrible. The RNG on it is so terrible that whether you're up close or you're at a range, there are situations where this gun feels like garbage. You might as well just have a regular rocket launcher with cluster bombs or something like that. I'm sure that there's better PvE exotics out there. Wardcliff, this was supposed to be your strength. and it feels very average to me. I don't know if you guys all agree with me, but the Wardcliff Coil is not, in my opinion, a top tier weapon for PvE, and for PvP, it's like a 1 or 2 out of 10. I don't know why you'd ever use it. Even another rocket launcher, there's no reason to use rocket launchers in PvP for the most part. You're better off with so many different other power weapons. So that's it. That's the Wardcliff Coil. It's like a 5, or maybe like a 2. What's like a 5, 6 maybe? I don't know. It's pretty average. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye.